So when Curtis is ready, it looks like Curtis is ready, so we'll call our meeting to order if we could, please. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda tonight? Anybody have anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, would entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support. We have a motion support. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have an agenda. Roll call. Are we completed?
All set, yes.
All right. Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please rise and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, we'll entertain a motion to approve the April 8, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
So moved. Support.
Have a motion support. Any comments or questions? Additions, corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed would be a no. And the motion is carried. Thank you. Hearings. We would consider a motion to set a public hearing for Tuesday, May 27, 2025 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the agenda allows, to consider a special assessment roll for unpaid charges for noxious weed cutting, sidewalk replacement, and utility billing charges for 2024.
So moved to set the hearing.
Support.
Motion support. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you. We have a hearing set. Agreements. We would consider a resolution to approve a purchase and sale agreement between the City of Alma and Berwin Rogers, which would be for the purchase of an open downtown lot, and also to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement on behalf of the city.
Move to adopt.
Support. We have motion support. Any comments, questions? Can I get some background on what's going on?
Definitely. The Alma Action Association was having a discussion about some excess funds they have and what to do and how to invest them in the community.
Nice.
And they thought something a little more substantial that they could invest in and be a part of. So we started talking about some ideas. The empty lot next to 119 West Superior came up, where the community cabinet is currently located, that Mr. Berwin Rogers owns currently. Could we purchase that? That way, one, the community cabinet would always have a home. Two, that Alma Action Association could put together some monies and develop that space into a community space. And then that would be their kind of project ongoing. So at some point, if the commission approves the purchase of it, we would have a maintenance agreement between ourselves and the Grass Area Chamber of Commerce, because the Alma Action Association is the promotional arm of the Grass Area, so they're the entity that would have to have the agreement with. So when all said and done, the Alma Action Association would be the one, putting the funds into it and maintaining it and providing that public space for the community, and at the same time keeping that space there for the community cabinet.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Questions?
Can't see a downside there.
All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed would be no. Motion is carried. Looks like we're going to purchase a lot. Great. Next, commissioners may receive the following reports by one resolution, or any commissioner may remove any item within the section for individual discussion and vote. Before us tonight, we have the Finance March 2025 report, the Planning Commission April 7, 2025 draft meeting minutes, the Building Permits report for January and March of 2025, and the City Manager's report. Your pleasure.
Move to accept 1 through 3.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion support on 1 through 3. Last chance for comments or questions. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's carried. We received the first 3. Your pleasure on number 4, the City Manager's report.
Move to receive the city manager report.
Support.
Okay, motion support. Eric.
Okay. There's a couple things I need to get Commission's feedback on. First off, we've talked about it before, but we did get the appraisal back for the State Street Plaza building, used to be the transportation building. Did include that appraisal in the packet for the Commission to review. The appraisal came back at $190,000. If the Commission is amenable to that, we'll start marketing it for sale and see what we get.
Okay. Questions?
Nope, McDonald does a good job of appraising commercial properties, so.
Just, are you planning to go through a realtor?
At this point, no. We figured we'll see what we can do and what we can get just by ourselves.
by owner first?
Exactly. And if we weren't getting any real traction on it, then we would come back to the commission and bring you some, probably put out for some bill, put out for bid or something along those
And
lines.
that's what I was going towards.
Okay.
Do you have a process in place?
Yes.
To identify somebody if you're going to use an agent?
Yep, an agent, and that we'll bring back to this board with a few options based upon what we need from them, so.
Has anybody asked?
Yeah, I have one tenant that's there now that would like to take a look at it and see what they can go, but we'll see.
Okay,
But,
thanks.
Yep. Next one I want to discuss with the commission, the utility fee allocations, which is our water, wastewater, and recycling trash leak pickup. When we received the SRF fundings, that really opened up a lot of options for us from a standpoint of being able to afford all the projects we're underway with and we'll be doing over the next year and a half. With that, we went back and looked at how we could realign or reallocate those rates across our 5-year plan, keeping in mind that we have a 5-year plan, it wasn't going to be any more than this amount over that time period. And with water taken care of the way it's been, with the SRF funding to help out that way, and with wastewater, with the needs that we have over there, we need to move around some of those dollars to make some things available for the capital improvements over at wastewater. And since we do have everything pretty much taken care of on that side, and we could move some things out of the water over to the wastewater, and then from the usage side of things, the actual numbers you use for water and wastewater, we could use a little more on the usage side for water, because we need some staffing back there. We're down one distribution person, which they're out taking care of the lines and all those sort of things. To look at possibly adding some more hours back into a person in the distribution side of water. We're doing okay on the wastewater side for the rates. So moving those, exchanging those with each other. And then, of course, we have our utility rate increases that we've, had already built in for trash, recycling, and then, of course, the yard waste into this third year of it. If the commission's amenable, we'll make this part of the new fiscal year 2026 budget. We would move those dollars around in those funds. So from a dollar standpoint, what we would see on the average person's bill, we would see a change and decrease in the overall RTS charges for both. That's between both the water and wastewater RTS rate to serve. So by moving those rates, what's been proposed in the rate analysis, we would actually save per month for the average ratepayer $3.85 per month, and then moving around the water and the wastewater usage fees, the average family of 4 using 4,500 gallons, they'd see a decrease in that bill of $1.71. Some savings, but at the same time, though, the idea is to put the dollars in the funds that we need them to get capital done and to pay for personnel. And we did look at what would this do for our 6-year plan's done with our streets. We got our SRF water projects done, our wastewater funds, or our wastewater projects are done. What would that look like in the next six years when we go out again? That is factored into this. We would be able to work on our water and wastewater projects with the analysis that has come back. And if I misspoke in any way, Curtis, he's not throwing his hands up saying you're crazy, but
As long as costs stay reasonable.
yeah.
And I imagine that you have thought this through, but I thought that one of the reasons that we increased rates was because we were so low comparatively.
Yep.
And so I have some hesitation. We've already made the big, I don't mind the moving around, but I don't know if we need to decrease things. That's my only concern. We've already taken that hurdle in the road, so to speak, of where things have increased, and I thought we still needed to increase. So I have some hesitation of decreasing anything. I understand the moving it from one spot to the other, and and maybe you have to do it that way. I don't understand that part of it, but I do have some apprehensions about, because we already have this increase, and then if 5 years, we need to double, part of me just feels like we've already got that in place. Does this make any sense?
Yes, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would agree with Roxanne that we've set kind of the floor, the ceiling on what we were going to expect. Everybody's kind of accepted that at this point, and we could possibly get in the same situation at the end of this period that we found ourselves at the beginning of the period, with too low a fund balance and have to have a massive increase again in 5 years and do this same shock process.
We've already, if we were way above what everyone else was charging and we were eligible for every grant, or, I'm all about saving money. Just replace my sanitary sewer. I know things are a surprise. I just have some hesitation about decreasing. I am completely fine with allocating funds however the magic needs to happen to help out in both places. I would prefer
Yeah, if
to
we
keep things.
lower one and raise the other, but keep it even across the board at the end of the day.
So things stay the
I think
same.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't know the
But I think we have a
financial
danger of
magic
hitting our
of it,
fund
but
balance.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Getting in a position.
People were irritated, and they still, some people still bring it up, but I feel like we got through the major trauma of an increase, and that it'd be too bad to go back and say, oh, whoops, sorry, I made a mistake, we're going to double that to increase later. I feel like we still have room that we probably need to increase things.
After our 5 years, we'll be.
Yeah, there's a ton of work that needs to be done.
So I don't think that maybe stockpiling a couple bucks a month,
It will help.
Yeah, for me as a consumer, I'm okay with paying what I'm paying, and so I just feel like we shouldn't.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
I'm in agreement with that. I think if we need to shuffle from one side to the other, that would be okay, but I don't think we should go in and give money back at this point. Is there any way we can get in any kind of trouble by shuffling from water to sewer and that kind of thing? There's no way that...
As long as we stay above the threshold that is required for our SRF funding, which both plans would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if we weren't going to do any decreases, we definitely, and
Yeah.
we've already figured that in, that we would be okay with this. But that was some of the discussion that we had as staff too. But we wanted to bring this to you, and we do, it's a good idea to start to reallocate this so we can
Yes.
start to get some of this wastewater done.
Right.
Because the next topic, we're putting in that application again for the clean water side of things.
Right.
But there's no guarantee, and we still need to get aeration basins, clarifiers.
Start
those-
having some line breaks, and
Yeah.
it's $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a hole to fix a break. It gets expensive real fast, and
Okay, and we can do that, we can just look at those reallocations and put those dollars in those, and we can bring those back to you for next month. We've got plenty of time before the budget is approved, and part of that budget approval is the rates across the board for everything, so, okay. Okay, and that, related to that, the Clean Water SRF application that is due on May 1st. We're working with Fishback on resubmitting that, and everything is pretty much the same except for we're putting in some additional documentation dealing with PFAS mitigation in it. We're hoping that will help our scoring process, the scoring outcome with that. So that will be submitted on or before May 1st. Public safety updates, just like to recognize Autumn Leonard. She has completed her Fire 1 and Fire 2 training. So it does, like with all our certifications across all our organization, it does take a lot of hours and dedication. In this case, it's 240 hours worth of education and training, and those hours are typically done on nights and weekends. So we appreciate all our folks who go out and get these certifications, so we can't function without them. And then also, believe it or not, we are coming into the third year of our police department's certification accreditation through the MLEAC. And as preparation for that, the Rasco Group has done, they were here last week doing a mock walkthrough of all policies, training manuals, reports on those things. Everything and anything dealing with what we go through for the certification accreditation process. Positive thing for this, and the community should know, is not only is we'll be going through the accreditation process again formally, but having this mock walkthrough also is a second review, documenting and looking through that we're meeting meeting what the community has to do in those and it's the assessment of the department is happening, not just one place, but a couple different places. So it's, and not every, as we spoke about last time, about 3 years ago now, not every department is accredited within the state of Michigan. And if you go to the accreditation website, you can see everyone that's there. And we are one of the smaller communities that is accredited. So that is a very positive thing when it comes to being able to tell people that we're doing the right things and following proper procedures. So thanks to them, and we'll be in that again in the fall. Another item here that I wanted to get some feedback on, the State Land Bank authority agreement for our demolition of the Prospect Building in the State Street Plaza, just the red building down there. We have been awarded, the Gratiot County Land Bank Authority has been awarded the funds to demo that building. With everything that's been happening, about pullbacks of grants, these sorts of things. At our last Land Bank Authority meeting here locally, there was some, apprehension, concern, even though we have the signed agreement between our local land bank and the state. I did provide a copy in your packet for you. That has been agreed to. The dollars are there. I did have a video conference with a representative from the land bank and Shelley and Jim Wheeler from Greater Gratiot 2 weeks ago. This was before our land bank meeting, and he assured us that everything was golden, but then they received an email basically saying, well, make sure you're doing this, this, and this, or, you might not get reimbursed. So that's the discussion we had at the last land bank. But again, we have another conference go with them tomorrow morning. And what I wanted to discuss with you tonight to get your feedback on, the land bank, they're willing to move forward, but what they're concerned about is if we go forward, we follow every requirement, cross our T's, dot our I's, and something happens, they want to be covered that, that
someone's going to pay.
Someone's going to pay for the work being done. I told them I would bring you up to speed as a commission that, there's this thought out there. Me personally, after, the conversation I had 2 weeks ago and where we're at in the process and when we were awarded them funds in round 4, what the funds were awarded for, which is blight elimination, and the gentleman that represented the state land bank, saying, no, you guys are fine. Just do what you agreed to do. But what's a little bit different in this case is, this isn't within our funding window. Some of the other things that they had with the previous dollars, those windows were a little earlier. This one, we were right in there. So, the long and the short of it is, I have that meeting tomorrow with the State Land Bank and Greater Gratiot to discuss with them our discussion tonight, our local land bank's apprehension or concern that is the state of Michigan going to follow through with their signed agreement with our land bank to provide the funds to get that building demoed, which I believe it will happen. But I need to bring that to you,
So,
let you know what's going on.
worst case scenario, if they didn't, are we capable of?
What we have, we do have a fund balance in our State Street Plaza fund, and that's an enterprise fund. So those dollars are sitting there that we wouldn't be using on general fund or for water, wastewater, parks, that sort of thing. It's dedicated to that anyway. So we could,
Okay, I just
take
asking a
those
worst
dollars
case
from there.
scenario, because, I mean, I would love to say, oh, yeah, I don't think there's any chance that they wouldn't pay them, but there's always a chance.
There is.
So I just, just looking at the worst case scenario, we do have something that we could pay for.
we can get it done. We do eventually need to take the building down.
Right, it needs to happen, so I feel like we go ahead as long as we're, and hope for the best.
Well, I'll have a conversation tomorrow, but it's a comfort level.
Couple of questions. Our agreement is with the state. Is the state dependent on federal funding, which is really where most of the challenges are today, I believe, is with federal dollars. It's going to be pulled back more than state dollars.
And that's where the
So
land bank.
are they dependent on federal dollars at the state level in order to fund this?
Yes. That is some of the apprehension from the local land bank. The state, like I said, the conversation we had with them now almost.
So you said they've got the money at the state.
Yes, they have the money.
But they may choose to not fund us if they get other funding pulled back from them?
They haven't said that. All they said in their email was, it was strongly worded after we had this, conversation of, don't worry, was make sure you are doing everything.
And have we then set a critical path of what all the crossing of the Ts and dotting of the Is and the timeframes, and do we have that critical path laid out and have them agree to that critical path? If we do, here's a list of items, if we do them in this order, in this time frame, then they will reimburse us. Is that how the agreement's laid out, or is it?
They've indicated to us that day that any of our RFPs going out for the environmental, and any environmental removal like asbestos, which there's asbestos on flooring there. And then going out for bid for the contract, for the demo contractor. As long as we, go through our process, the land bank's procurement policy, all those things, you'll be fine. They did say to us before if you were apprehensive, that we could send them those documents, they could review them, but just like with anything lately, they'll review them and say, well,
We think it's good.
I think it's good.
Right.
Go ahead and roll the dice.
Yes, so,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that's what would be said tomorrow.
Right. As it's,
Yeah.
wasn't there other funds that used to come directly to us and now they're funneled through the state and we don't see them? Even years ago, there's possibilities of them. But it's something that needs to be done, and it would be honorable and decent if things go the way we were promised, but as long as we have a backup, I guess. I don't feel like we should say, no, we're not gonna do it, because then we just lose it if the money does come, right?
If we don't give the land bank some assurances, our local
Right.
land bank, because
Absolutely.
they want to be on the hook, which makes sense, because it'll be our building getting removed and helping out us to get to our next step, that we provide that. But I need to make you aware, it would not would not touch our general fund. It wouldn't touch our general fund balance as well, because we'd be using the enterprise funds from the State Street Plaza, but it's still money.
No,
It's still-
I
it's still
get
community
that.
money. So,
Right.
but if you don't, it's one of those things, like you just said, roll the dice. If you roll it, you got a chance, but if you don't, then we don't know the next time they may offer something that could help us in
Right.
this particular case either, so.
Right.
It's exactly, but we all need to be
Yes.
on the same page about it.
Go ahead,
yeah.
but-
And I know down at the MMO conference, when we were there,
Yeah.
there was concern expressed by a lot of people about things like this, but I don't recall hearing any stories of state funds being pulled back. I think there was one or two communities that talked about some federal money that they thought they were going to get, and they had not yet received it even. They didn't say for sure they weren't going to get it, but
In this case, this is dollars that are with the state.
yeah. So I think I have a higher degree of confidence in our state agency than I would a federal agency at this point. That the changes coming from the Fed are a much higher risk.
And that's the comment that was made in their email, because those were ARPA dollars,
Yeah.
and they're trying to appropriate and spend those ARPA dollars to get things done across the state of Michigan before they are you know, 2026 is the, everything, all those ARPA dollars were gonna have to be spent. So,
I'd say as long as your team does that, you know, make sure you got everything down there, got your critical path items there, and get them done in the correct order and the correct time frame. I would say it's worth, the risk is low enough that I'd be comfortable with it.
okay, and I'll,
Myself, I don't know, anybody else?
and like I said, we'll have the video conference, and then we'll send another land bank meeting. And if they do request, I'll come back with a resolution of some sort.
They're
of
just
that.
covering themselves.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely, as we would want, I mean, if
What we're trying to do too. Yeah.
Exactly, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
I just wanted to make sure if the absolute worst case scenario, we had something that wasn't already, that we could use if we had to. I
If
don't
we-
want
if we
us to
had-
have to.
If we have
That's
to,
the
and like we
idea, but-
discussed, you know, when we first applied or, you know, got in line for this, was this wouldn't be something we do right away, demo that building. It would be if we did happen to get a grant, or we did have, and at first we did receive the funding. And then round 4 opened up because some folks in phase 3 gave back their monies, so they opened up this round. So it was,
Turn away
Yeah.
money that people
Yeah.
gave back. I say we go.
well, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
doing what.
I mean, if they say they got the money, I think it's, I have more faith in the state.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just, when you talk to somebody and when they put something in writing, it's just made them nervous.
No, it's good that you brought it to us, but I think you're doing the right thing and go ahead.
All right, we'll move forward then. And then just briefly, some community happenings, a lot going to be happening over the next month and a half. Just a reminder, the Chamber Community Celebration is Thursday, May 1st, so if any commissioners like to go, we'll get you a ticket. For this commission and for anybody listening tonight, if you'd like to help with the downtown cleanup, the annual downtown cleanup, that is on Saturday, May 16th, not 17th, 9 a.m. to noon, and we're meeting in front of the Purple Pear. The artists are hard at work for the new installation for the banners for this year in the downtown. Those will be ready for us in mid-May to get up before festival. Alma Action Association's Spring Fling Golf Outing coming up on the day after our cleanup. The day of our cleanup, which is May 6th, the day before, May 16th. There's just too many stuff happening. Yes, yeah. So if you like golf and you'd like to golf, we're still looking for some teams, we're still looking for some hole sponsors, and just let folks know at home, this is our biggest fundraiser for Alma Action Association. We just talked about earlier in the meeting of, what the Alma Action tries to do and provide to the community. Farmers Market, first day will be June 8th, the first Saturday in June, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through October, and it'll be located again on North State Street. And then the Glen Gravel Ramble will be on May 17th as well. And Brian Hancock has brought that back. Last year was his first year back after a few years off, and doing the 10, 30 and 50 mile ride here in Gratiot, starting in Alma and going through Gratiot County. And then the annual Highland Festival Festival and Games, Memorial Day weekend, the 23rd to the 25th. And just for a bit the crowd, if you'd like to get free admission, all you gotta do is volunteer. So they have an online system. You can, put your name in there and get signed up for volunteer. And it's a great way to get involved in not just the community, but the festival and get into the festival for free. So that is it.
Okay. Anybody have questions, more questions for Eric? Okay, we have a motion on the table. All those in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion's carried. We received your report. Thank you. Next, we are to consider a resolution to reappoint Gene Kimball to the Alma Public Library Board for a 5-year term, which will be ending June 1st, 2030.
Move approval. Thank you,
Support.
Jean.
Okay, we have motion support. I assume you said Gene has agreed to this.
Yes, she has. She reached out to,
Any idea how many years she's been on that?
we're even doing it early because they really wanted to get put on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she did
Doesn't want anybody else to.
Yeah.
She might be taking her seat.
Yes.
That's good. She's very dedicated.
Exactly.
And
It's been a long time.
All right. Anybody else have comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you, Jean, for continuing to volunteer. New business, we're to consider a resolution to cancel the special city commission meeting scheduled for April 29th, 2025. I hear the disappointment.
looking forward to
Okay,
it.
we have a motion support. You don't think we're going to need it?
You know, unless you want to keep it on there, we'll keep it on the books.
We're good.
Okay.
You sure, Curtis?
Good.
All right, with that, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's carried. We've canceled the meeting. Thank you. Appropriations.
Move to pay the appropriations.
Support. Okay, we have motion support. Are there any questions about said appropriations? I hear none. All those in favor of paying the bills, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion's carried. The bills can be paid. Go forth, Curtis. Commissioner comments. Sonia, would you like to lead off tonight?
No comments from me.
Okay. Michelle?
Thanks to the DPW workers for all their hard work on those trees. They look nice. And congratulations to the new firefighter.
Drew?
Get your tickets for Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Strand Theater, and it opens in a couple weeks.
Go on sale next week. Go on sale Monday, in the lobby. I mean, they're on sale
Yeah.
anytime. Go on sale in the lobby next Monday.
On sale online, right?
6 to 7.
Okay. Roxanne?
I don't have anything, I guess. Just, thank you to everybody for answering my questions and letting me yammer on about stuff. Thank you.
Roger?
I actually have 3 things. Reminder that the library program, the burning of the mortgage, is tomorrow, 3:30 to 6:30, but the burning is 4 o'clock, I think. This might be kind of fun to do that. Queen of Scots pageant is this Friday at 7 o'clock at the Heritage Center. And Eric mentioned the community, what do you call it, community bash thing, whatever it is, on May 1st. The new Order of the Tartan is this year awarded to Jim Wheeler. We couldn't announce that until it was done last week. We snuck up on him at a chamber meeting and presented him with the news that he is a new winner. So he will be presented with the Order of the Tartan on that day. So that's all I got.
Sarah? Nothing about the election? No? We have an election. You're all set? Okay. Eric? Anything further? I guess one thing, congratulations are in order to My Michigan Health, our local hospital. Eric, I saw you there. I don't know if anybody else was there. Curtis was there, yes. But they had an open house for their new surgical suites. Very impressive. And technology is incredible out there. The private suites for surgery prep and everything that's going on there. Just, I think they said it was a $38 million build out and remodel and everything that went along with it. But just amazing for our city, our region. That hospital serves, all of Gratiot County, Isabella County, and even some from Clare, so it goes east and west as well. So a great asset for the community. They're doing great things there, and our appreciation certainly to all the work that went into that and all that brings to our town. So thanks to them. I did also got I think you probably gave this to me. Child Advocacy has a Telling Their Stories 2025 Artists Exhibit on May 1st from 4 to 5:30. It looks like it's at the Alma Community Arts Center, so it sounds like a nice program for them going forward there. So that's, I think, all I've got. At this point, we'd open it up to members of the public. If anybody'd like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address, and you can be first.
Okay. I forgot this too. I have some pamphlets I'm supposed to drop off to you. And this has to do with Gratiot County Community Development Guide to Construction Permits. So, and then I realized you guys talked about that a little bit. Okay. I'm Jan Bunting, County Commissioner, and I just wanted to go over a little bit about what went on in the county, this last week, we had, actually what happened first, we have batteries coming into our county, and there's been a big concern about where they're putting them and whether, a little bit more about them. So one of the first things that I had done is I'm on the board of MSU Extension. I got a hold of Bill Henderson, who's MSU Extension Agriculture. And I was telling him about it, and he gave me the name of Charles Gould. I did have this in my phone, so I was able to look up their phone numbers. So I called him, and he is the one that is researching down at Michigan State University about the batteries. Right now, at one time, the batteries had lithium in them. Is that how you say it?
Lithium.
Lithium, yes.
Lithium ion.
I pronounce it wrong. Anyway, that's been the big concern. One of them is that they have a tendency to explode. And you've seen it in the paper, it's kind of like a little house or something that they're going to put these batteries in. That has to have a certain temperature, it has to have cooling and heating. And it was my understanding that we're going to put one here and one there, and there's somewhere between 250 to 500 that is coming into Michigan. But what they do, that's why I thought, wow, this is going to be scattered all over the place. But what they do, they take like maybe an acre or a half an acre, and they put like maybe 30 on an acre or a half an acre. They're connected one to another. And they are, and so that was an issue. That has been a big issue between Clinton County, Isabel County, and Gratiot County. We had a meeting last Thursday, and the guy that came to talk about it was Tom Sutton, and he's from Kalamazoo. And what he does, and so there was two different parts I was telling the guys about earlier before all of these came in. The Michigan State University is more or less looking at how to fix and not have this lithium in there, to do something else with these batteries to collect the energy from the solar panels. And so that's something that they've been working on. But this Tom Sutton, he works on training. He like when they come before they come to Gratiot County, Isabel County, and I guess they're going to have some in Clinton County, and actually they'll be scattered probably from the beginning of Michigan all the way to the UP. What he does is go out and he does the training of how to work with them, and if there is a fire, what they have to do before and after and during. And so we had a meeting on Thursday evening. There was around 30 people, 25 to 30 people that came to it. And I was impressed with this Mr. Sutton. I thought he did a really good job explaining, and that right now, before they're even put in, they're hoping to change these batteries to be a little bit safer for the community. For one thing, for the air, for the water, and also for our ground, our farmland. And also, we got a big concern of this going into the Great Lakes. So there is people out there that are doing research and working on this. And so one of the things that I could tell you is that the meeting was a couple hours long, but it was filmed, and it is on YouTube. If you go on April the 17th and ask for, or put in there Gratiot County Commissioners, you'll be able to see the whole thing. And there was people there that evening from Clinton, Isabel, and Gratiot County, and there was a lot of good questions asked. And I was impressed with this Mr. Sutton because of the fact that, he made it, he showed a lot of concern also. And I think there is a lot of concerns. I would think there'd have to be, because we all live here in Michigan, and the last thing we want to do is destroy our state. And so, so that was one of the reasons I decided I took a lot of notes here, and I could go into all the questions that were asked, but I'm not going to do that this evening. I only have 5 minutes. So but do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me on it?
What are the batteries for?
The batteries, what they do, they have like, okay, say this is like like a little house. It looks like, I think of the storage bins.
Right.
And they look something like that, and it'll
But
have
it's not to like recycle batteries, what's it for?
Okay, what they do, they're gonna put batteries in there, and they go to the solar panels. So, solar panels, you don't wanna waste this electrical, that it's gonna generate. So, when you have the solar panel, this is the part I might be telling you wrong a little bit, but there is gonna be a connection from all the solar panels together that will go into these
the battery
batteries.
is stored
into
from
that,
the
and it stores the energy until they need it.
Like at night.
And then as they need it, then they will use it. But you gotta remember, a lot of the electricity from the wind turbines is what is being used first. Now, the biggest concerns that evening was the land. You know, we're taking farmland and using it up where we should be doing crops. And that was one of the biggest concerns. And I think also they didn't want to see us putting all this in and not being used, not using the electrical, and so and this is the way that they save it. But the big concern about saving it is making it safe on somebody's, and also, to tell you the truth, when I first heard about it, my vision was that, they're gonna go around and set these all over the place, and and there's 500 of them, that is those big containers. And then there'll be batteries inside that, but then they're gonna connect those big containers together, so you'll have them all in one spot. But I know that Clinton County's gonna have them, Gratiot and Isabel, of course, they've got wind turbines. I'm sure Saginaw, Midland. So there's gonna be a lot of these. That is that's between, my understanding, in all of Michigan. So I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of them, except it would be depending on where the where the solar panels are. There's 6 different, right now I know 3 or 4. There's 4 different areas where the solar panels are gonna be. So I don't know how many they'll put, depending on how big the solar panels are that they're producing this electrical. But there's an awful lot to learn about it. I mean, I spent a whole day talking down in Lansing on the phone to different people there about the battery part of it. But there's just an awful lot, and that's why when you listen to the tape on this on YouTube, there's a lot of people asked a lot of good questions, things that I didn't even think of, and good answers, I thought. And I still have concerns, but my job is to just learn about it and pass this on to you and let you guys, and I think one of the things you can save that, like if you put in there Gratiot County commissioners, you can save that tape. So if you do want to go back later on and maybe catch something maybe you have a question later on, maybe it'll be a year from now, you can go back in and pull that back up and re-listen to it. That's one of the things that I'm going to do.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.
Okay, and if there's any other questions, just give me a call.
Thank you.
I'll try to find, if I don't know the answer, which probably I wouldn't, I will find somebody that knows it.
Okay, are there any other members of the public present that would like to address? Seeing no one come forward at this point, we'd entertain a motion to adjourn for this evening.
So moved.
There's motion support. Last chance for comments or questions. I hear nothing. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. We are adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.